Meet 8 spiritual sons of Bishop Oyedepo and their mega ministries. Bishop David Oyedepo. When Bishop David Oyedepo said, "If you want to go further, then you get a father," and Archbishop Benson Idahosa of the blessed memory said that, "If an antelope have the backing of the lion it can confront an elephant," they were only corroborating an old Bible tradition that is Moses had Jethro, Samuel had Eli, Prophet Elisha had Prophet Elijah, and Timothy had Paul. Having been mentored himself by the likes of Kenneth Copeland, the late Kenneth Hagin, E.W., Kenyon, T.L., Osborn, Smith Wigglesworth, as well as renowned Nigerian preachers Enoch Adeboye and the late Benson Idahosa, Bishop David Oyedepo is presently playing fatherly role to a lot of emerging Christian leaders, and incidentally most of these spiritual sons have the biggest ministries in Nigeria. These sons are common faces in Winners Chapel conferences, and the same grace upon Winners Chapel is visible in their individual ministries. This can be seen in the way they seems to be replicating everything working in the ministry of Bishop Oyedepo. 1. Dr. Paul Ene Ene and Bishop David Oyedepo. Dr. Ene Ene is the senior pastor of Dunamis International Gospel Center, with the headquarters situated at the Lord's Garden, along the Airport Road, Abuja. He is from Benue State and a trained medical doctor. He established the Dunamis International Gospel Center on November 10, 1996, and the church is presently the biggest ministry in FCT and one of the biggest in the world. Dr. Ene Ene confirmed that he first heard about Bishop Oyedepo in an audio tape entitled Unleashing the Secret of the Supernatural Realms, and before he met him one-on-one, Oyedepo usually appeared to him in his nightly dreams, anointing him with oil. He also revealed that before the Dunamis Auditorium was erected, Bishop Oyedepo ordered him not to start the project until he brings the building plan before him. And before the building was erected, Bishop Oyedepo was on hand to bless the project. Another report also said that Bishop Oyedepo instructed Pastor Ene Ene to increase its initial plan, leading to an expansion of the Glory Dome project from 75,000 to 100,000 capacity. Glory Dome, Dunamis 100,000 capacity cathedral. Pastor Ene Ene will always say, "Even devil can confirm that the genetic and the chromosome of my father, Oyedepo, is in me." 2. Pastor David Oyedepo with Bishop David Oyedepo. Pastor David Oyedepo is the founder and senior pastor of Salvation Ministries with headquarters in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. After completing his Bible school training at Bishop David Oyedepo's Word of Faith Bible Institute, WAFB, Oyedepo started a house fellowship with his family in Victoria Island, Lagos, Nigeria. He later relocated to Port Harcourt, Rivers State, where he started Salvation Ministries, Glorious Chapel, on April 13, 1997, with a little over 20 members in attendance. In July 1997, the church relocated to a larger plot of land on Bairabi Street in GRA Phase 1, Port Harcourt. Today the church conducts 7 services and is about completing its church auditorium, which will be the biggest in the world. The Salvation Ministries church project, which began in 2010, was initially projected to carry 40,000 worshippers. However, with the massive expansion of the church, which led to the opening of over 50 satellite churches in Port Harcourt, including opening 13 in one single day in 2016, coupled with the prodding by David Oyedepo's father in the Lord, Bishop David Oyedepo, to do better than his father, Oyedepo was encouraged to expand the capacity of the building. Previous estimates of the church project had the expansion at 100,000 capacity, but with plans to extend to about 120,000, and the metal roofing covering an area of 50,000 square meters span, which is more than double the span of the Glory Dome of Dunamis at 22,148 square meters. It is officially set to become the largest church auditorium in the world. Salvation Ministries 120,000 Cathedral Site. 3. Pastor Sam Adeyemi with wife and Bishop David Oyedepo. Pastor Sam Adeyemi dreamt one Saturday morning and saw Bishop Oyedepo and his wife planting a tree in a new church location, and he saw a large crowd rushing to that location. When he woke up, he knew it was a vision from God. That was the genesis of the relationship between Pastor Sam Adeyemi and his mentor, Bishop Oyedepo. But despite this encounter, in the first 3 years of Daystar, growth was slow. That prompted him to go and see his father, Bishop David Oyedepo. He said to him, "What do you do after you have tried everything you know and the church has refused to grow?" Bishop Oyedepo said, "Look, growth is seasonal," and he quoted Galatians 6 verse 9, which says, "Let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap, if we don't faint." Today, Daystar Christian Center sits atop a hectare of land on Ikosi Road, Lagos. Within a short period, the ministry had started 5 services with over 25,000 members, making it one of the most attended churches on Sundays in Lagos State. The relationship between the father and son has grown in leaps and bounds, with the bishop publicly referring to Pastor Adeyemi as one of his favorite sons in ministry. Pastor Adeyemi too has become a regular keynote speaker at the Covenant University special programs on character development and national transformation. Pastor Femi Emanuel with Bishop David Oyedepo. Pastor Femi Emanuel was a one-time deputy speaker of the Oyo State House of Assembly, and businessman-turned-preacher. He is the presiding pastor of Living Spring Chapel International. Femi Emanuel is one of the most respected and sought-after ministers of the gospel in Nigeria. He pastors one of the fastest-growing Pentecostal churches in Nigeria. His ministry has grown from 15 to over 30,000 members in about 20 years. The international headquarters of his ministry is at Ikeja, Lagos, while its national headquarters is the Dominion City, Iwo Road, Ibadan, which is on over 50 acres and with a 10,000-seater cathedral. 5. Pastor Adepoju Oyedepo. Pastor Adepoju Oyedepo first had an encounter with Bishop David Oyedepo in September 1988 at Francis Whale Oak-led Sword of the Spirit Ministries convention. Since that day he has been an ardent follower of the bishop. By the year 1990, the then 21-year-old Adepoju Oyedepo was the president of the Chapel Fellowship, Unilag, and had succeeded in bringing Bishop Oyedepo all the way from Kaduna to minister at the campus fellowship. Afterwards, at the age of 26, Adepoju Oyedepo started Covenant Christian Center, Lagos, and was ordained into ministry by Bishop David Oyedepo. Covenant Church is currently one of the fastest-growing ministries in the country and holds 4 services every Sunday morning in its 3 centers. Pastor Adepoju describes Bishop Oyedepo as the man from whom he understood the art of ministry. 6. Pastor Samuel Alo. He is a Nigerian Christian author, preacher and the president and founder of the Word of Power Global Ministries International, aka Triumphant Christian Center, TCC. His ministry run 2 services on its 10,000-seater capacity church auditorium. He anchors programs during the Shiloh program. 7. Pastor Yemi Davids. He is the senior pastor of Global Impact Church, one of the fastest-growing churches in Nigeria, which currently runs 5 great services every Sunday in its facility in Ifako, Lagos, Nigeria. 8. Rev. Ntaa. Reverend Ntia is one of the most popular ministers in Akwa Ibom, running a megachurch that has thousands of members across Nigeria. His church, Full Life Christian Center, is said to be one of the most attended churches in Akwa Ibom. His ministry has 27 branches, 3 outside Nigeria and 24 within Nigeria. Stay tuned to more timely updates. Up next are lots of surprises. Therefore don't miss.